Hi everybody, Naha here, welcome back, and I'm really feeling very inspired today. I did a radio show this morning with a very dear friend of mine, Andrew Martin. If you guys are not already following Andrew Martin, actually I bet you already are, but for those of you who aren't, please go check out his channel. I will link it down below, and he's also over on the side of channels that I love. He is a kindred spirit of mine as a healer himself, as a light worker, and a really amazing speaker and teacher. And he's somebody that I've known actually since back when I was a teenager, back in the 90s, and we both lived in Seattle at the time. And he has grown up since, and I have grown up and matured, and we've both come a long ways from where we were, of course, back in the day. And now it's just so interesting that we've reconnected when we are together on the sort of same wavelength. Now, he's in New York, I'm in LA, but he has come out to actually teach a class at House of Intuition where I'm at. And now, as I said, today I got a chance to be a guest on his radio show. So the topic that we were talking about today was coincidence, the power of coincidence. And what we very quickly came to the agreement about is that there is no such thing as coincidence. Everything does happen for a reason, and that what some people might call coincidence or seemingly random occurrences that have no meaning, they just sort of happen, are actually synchronicities, that there is an underlying common thread that does connect things together, that things actually are syncing up. So we explored that idea, we talked all about it, and that is actually going to be archived as a podcast. So I'm also going to link that down below, and you guys are going to be able to listen. But I wanted to talk a little bit more on that topic with you guys today, and we're also going to do a tarot unboxing. So one of the ways that synchronicities show up in our lives is they show up as really very simple things. They show up as signs, they show up as colors, letters, numbers or series of numbers, words, thoughts. And really, what are all of these things? They're different symbolic languages. And they're things that we have some kind of an innate understanding about internally. And one of the best ways to bring your own understanding of symbols and symbolic languages to the surface and be able to really understand for yourself what these things mean, what these messages mean, is actually the tarot, using the tarot, because the tarot is completely created out of symbolic languages. It's created out of color and numbers and letters and words and pictures and ideas, putting all of these things together to convey an idea, to convey an archetype, a personality type, a situation. So it is really something that will be helpful for you if you do want to have more synchronicity in your life and be able to have more sort of sense of being able to see signs and messages from the universe. If you work with cards, that is what I believe, that they are something that will help you in that way. Now, as somebody that might be a tarot student, you know, I have my tarot class. Actually, I'm going to go teach it tonight. And last week we were talking about the different suits. So the 4 suits of the tarot, which correspond to the 4 elements, fire, water, air, and earth. And when you are in the point where you're really getting into the tarot and maybe you're studying it, you're pulling cards every day, you're really thinking about it, you are going to see those elements everywhere. Now, fire, that's wands, cups, that's water, air is swords, and pentacles corresponds to earth. So it's so funny, even as I was setting up the items that I'm going to need to do this unboxing today, I wanted to pull out this really gorgeous rose quartz tower that I have, and I just felt like it would be a nice piece to add to the table. Now, crystals are going to correspond to the earth element, so we have that there representing pentacles. I have my cup of tea. Actually, this cup is from Tenzing Momo, the place that I bought, right next to this store where I bought my very first tarot deck. And my sword, my butterfly knife. So here's a wand. I had to look for a second. Is there a wand on the table? Sure, this pen right here, that will do. So as you can see, we can qualify all of these objects as one of these 4 elements. Now, I wasn't sure which package I was going to open for you guys today, but I picked this envelope up, and if you can see on the back of it, it says 22. So I said, okay, well, following this same current of synchronicity, we're gonna have to just go ahead and say that that's a sign. This package came from Essex in the United Kingdom. Now, I remember ordering this deck some time ago. I believe it was on Kickstarter. It's the Stretch Tarot, created by Joseph Stretch. That's all I remember about it. It's been a while since I got this package. So we're gonna open it together, see what it is. All right, so what I do see in here, oh, this is a nice little card that came, just a little thank you, okay. And I've opened other decks from Kickstarter before, you know, you're getting the deck specifically from the artist who created it, and there just is a little bit more love and attention to detail when you are buying a deck specifically from the creator as opposed to ordering it from a store or a publisher. So these are wrapped up. I'm just going to open them. There's a little booklet in here. It looks like that it came with the Stretch Tarot, J.E. Stretch 2016. There's an introduction here. And there is also just a little blurb about each card. This is a nice format. You know, it's simple, but there's a message for each card as well as its reversal. Okay. So this is the box. And now I'm remembering exactly what the look of this deck is. This is one of those collage type decks. There's another one that I opened up recently. Oh, the Victorian, was it? No, the Antiquarian deck had the similar kind of thing. I think I might have actually ordered these around the same time. All right, let's take a look. Nothing like cracking that brand new deck of cards open. I never get tired of that. Okay, let's take a look at these cards. Now, as usual, we begin with the Fool. And I actually want to really suggest to you guys right now, you know, there's a lot going on in with people right now, which some of that I am attributing to all of these upcoming eclipses that are going to be happening in August. Are you guys aware of that? That there's going to be a couple of eclipses, a lunar eclipse, and then also a solar eclipse in August that's going to be visible from Oregon. I know some people that are traveling up there. One of my teachers, William, actually, who was on the video that we filmed about the Ripley Scroll, he's going to be going up to Oregon to witness that full solar eclipse. What do you guys think about these cards? These are pretty cool, right? They're very beautiful. I love the that kind of Victorian feeling that they have. So they have old photographs, but then they also have colored parts. So it is very reminiscent of that Antiquarian deck, isn't it? Here is the Chariot. Even the color pattern, the color palette is a little bit similar. It looks like some of these cards have, they're not like as super clear. Some of them, this is a good example. It's a little bit hard, you know, it might seem like it's not really focusing, but it's actually like the image is not completely super crisp. But then this next one, it very much is so. Look at this Hermit. He's cool. So what I wanted to say with all of these eclipses, and you know, I I do feel like that is a part of what's going on with everyone. I've seen this image before. You know, I think there is a deck that's called the Tantric Dakini Oracle, and there's a card in that deck called Maya, I think. It's like a spin, with somebody weaving, spinning. I could be wrong. It could just be a very similar picture, but I could swear this is the same little lady there at her spinning thread. Ooh, I like this Justice card. That's beautiful. So with my clients and with my students and the people that have been coming to me for readings and healings lately, I've been noticing a theme. Death, of course. It's a nice image. And what I've been noticing is that everybody is really having a hard time trusting themselves right now. There's Baphomet. It's almost as if everybody is having this sense of wanting to pull out from things that they've already committed to. It seems like people are suddenly feeling like they're unsure of the stuff that is already going on in their life. I don't know if should I have taken that job? Should I have bought this house? Maybe the decision that I made back in the spring wasn't the right decision. And it seems like everyone's really second guessing themselves right now. Now, the nature of an eclipse is that either the sun or the moon is obscured, right? And so if you think about what that symbolizes, if you think about the sun being obscured, it's a beautiful, beautiful moon. There's the sun, there they are. So during the eclipse and those things lining up, the earth. But the sun is the card of illumination, of everything being able to be revealed. When you draw the sun card in your reading, it's basically saying you're going to be able to see everything clearly. Everything is going to have light shed on it. And for that, it becomes a very easy time to know exactly what's going on, which road to take, which decision to make. And it's also a time of fruitfulness and abundance. So if you think about the sun being obscured, with the moon being right in front of it, then yeah, there could be this sense that how that would be represented in our own lives, you know, as above, so below, that our truth also can be obscured. And I've been challenging my clients and my students and asking them, well, what is in your heart of hearts, when you are most super honest with yourself and you really go internally, what do you think? And everybody's basically saying the same thing, which is, in my heart of hearts, I know I am supposed to see this through. I know I am doing the right thing. And sure, it might be challenging right now, or maybe I'm looking for a way out. Maybe part of that is because new responsibilities are coming, or you know, it's just like people aren't sure of themselves right now. But here's my suggestion. If you are experiencing anything like this in your life right now, just stick things out for this next month. This next month, with all of these eclipses going on, it is going to be, you know, there's going to be an ebb and flow. It might be a little bit of an emotional time. Now we're getting into the Pentacles. It's not a time, I don't believe, to just pull up anchor and make a super big change. I think that it's a better time for this next month, for the month of August, to just kind of dig in your heels and continue moving forward and have some follow through, and just go ahead and continue doing what you're doing. And if you're going to make major changes, I think that after we move out of August and we move into the fall, that would be a more appropriate time to start completely like changing your life. Now, going back to the fact that the Fool is the first card in the deck, just because things in your life might not all be wonderful, might not be all great, maybe, you know, your work is frustrating, maybe your relationship, you don't feel supported, your home, you don't like the energy in it. There can be all kinds of reasons why we're unhappy with the things that are in our life, right? And sometimes it's true. Sometimes we need to let go of those things in order to make space for new things. And those are all things we do have free will about. We do have the right to leave our job, to end a relationship. We have the right to move. Now you might say, well, I can't because, I have bills to pay, because I need a roof over my head, because if I don't have this person in my life, I'm just not gonna, I don't know what I'll do. Well, there are always going to be those buts, but you're not shackled to those things. You do have the right to leave. Does that mean it's going to be easy? No. Does that mean you're going to just hit the ground running? Not necessarily. But you do have the right to change your mind, to release things, to let things go, to change things in your life. But what I suggest is, if you are thinking that you're not feeling fulfilled, rather than looking right now at releasing what it is or backing out of what you've already committed to, why don't you try something else, which would be being the fool. The fool, remember, not the idiot, yeah? And that means just taking a first step in something that has been on your mind that you've been wanting to do, that would be a healthy choice for you. So maybe watching this, you've also been thinking about making YouTube videos. Maybe you've been thinking about doing tarot readings. Maybe you've been thinking about creating your own tarot deck, or writing a book, or we're getting into the fives here now. They're going to be kind of troublesome, right? The swords, rather, 5 of swords. Being like the fool means just doing one thing to get the ball in motion. Just make one video. Just write one poem, or draw one picture, take one dance class, cook one meal. You guys know what those things are that you're like, yeah, well, if I had the time, if I had the energy, if I had the resources, I would do that all the time. I'd exercise, I'd cook all my own meals, I'd do something I love, I'd create, I'd be artistic, I'd make music, just do one thing. Just get something started. That is my challenge to you for the month of August. Don't feel like, no, I've got to pull out from everything I've been doing. Just see, what if, just by doing one thing, being the fool, getting something in motion, you can actually start finding more confidence within yourself. It's called the snowball effect. You guys know this. You start something, and then after one, then you try a second thing. You've popped the seal at that point. And as you start to feel better, you feel more fulfillment in your life. You feel more courage in your life. What is this? The Ace of Wands. It's a rib. It's a bloody rib. I had to look at this and go, what? Ugh. Isn't that what that is? Because this is Adam, right? I think that's intense. Here's the 2 of Wands. So you guys on board with me for this? Just spend this summer, take this next month to get something started, to just do one thing. Is there something you've been wanting to make, something you've been wanting to create? You might say, oh, it's going to cost so much money to do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the outcome would be. The fool is not worried about any of that stuff. The fool says, this is my life. I want to live it. I just want to try something that's going to make me happy. It's very much like the Pages, Ace of Cups. Always a favorite card of mine. I think I really like these, you guys. Look at the 3 of Cups. Here's the back. They're very simple, but I really like them. They feel a little bit like a patchwork quilt, right? But I love that it's not indigo, it's cobalt, that cobalt blue color. They're not like completely papery, but they're not completely waxy either. but I think that they're better than some of the ones that are just super like easy to scratch. They don't seem like that. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna do a single card draw here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shuffle this whole deck. They shuffle really nicely. They're just a standard size. So let's see if we can have just one message. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw that. I guess it's off camera, but we have a jumper. You know what that means, right? When a card just, I don't know if you saw it, but it just kind of tumbled out of the deck. That's our card. We don't have to draw it. If that ever happens, that's your card, okay? Six of Pentacles. Oh, what a good one. So Six of Pentacles is about putting your time, energy, and resources to the things that really need it. It's not about being wasteful. It's not about being greedy. It's about going, where can I focus? Where can I dial in where I put my resources, where I'm spending money, and, you know, time is money too. Energy is money too. Those things are all valuable. So really dialing that in. Where can I put that? Where it's going to be of most use. Think about that for this next month. You see here, this guy is, seems like he's handing a pentacle to these two children. And then you have this bird here with the little babies down here. Now, again, Six of Pentacles is about helping those who are truly in need, helping an area of your life that truly needs to be helped. These little baby birds, they can't feed themselves. They do need to be fed. These children, you know, same thing. They need somebody to help them out. In a traditional card, you see that there's beggars down here, people that really, they're unable to help themselves. And there's a gentleman that's giving them some change. So there is your mission for the month of August. Be the Fool. Try getting something started. Try not to worry too much if things are feeling a little bit unclear right now. Just know you're not the only one. Everyone is sort of in that same boat. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I hope that you enjoyed this unboxing of the Stretch Tarot. I will link it down below if this deck is still available, which I believe that it is. If you guys are not already subscribed, I'd love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'm very open to hearing your comments, and I hope that you'll leave some down below. And if there's anything else that you guys would like to see on this channel, please feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.